the Week in Review setup where I go over Raw and SmackDown in a WWE action figure setup style. I talk about every match, every moment, every promo. We're starting off with Monday Night Raw. What a Raw. This Raw was in Charlotte, North Carolina. What a hell of a crowd this was. Amazing show to watch. This Raw was like actually insane. We're going to talk about everything that happened right now. The Miz even fought John Cena on Miz TV. We will talk about it all in this part of the video. Halfway through, we will jump into SmackDown. As I go through both Raw and SmackDown, let me know down in the comments down below, what did you think of Raw and SmackDown this week? And without further ado, let's jump into Monday Night Raw. We opened up the show with a brand new intro, which was fire, and then Jey Uso. It's just me, Us. Since day one, it's just me, Us. His new theme song is so freaking lit. Jey Uso comes down, gets the crowd hyped. Yo, welcome to Raw. I'm on Raw now. It's just me now. No bloodline, none of that crap. He gets interrupted. I wouldn't say interrupted, but Sami Zayn does come out, first man to greet Jey Uso with open arms here on Raw, which I thought was so heartwarming because both of these guys, they really hit it off in the bloodline. It took a while, but they did, and here they are. It's all coming full circle. So Sami says, welcome to Raw, but he does say a lot of the guys in the back aren't too happy about you being here because when he was in the bloodline, the amount of times he helped Roman Reigns and screwed the people that Roman Reigns was facing is a lot of times. So not a lot of people are happy that Jay's on Raw, but Sami's there, welcome him with open arms. I loved this promo. They ended up hugging it out, and then they sort of walked off. This was great to open the show. Our opening match was Drew McIntyre and Mick Riddle, going up against the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, or the Viking idiots. Obviously, Drew McIntyre did pass Jey Uso when Jey Uso was leaving his promo, and you could just see the death stare that Drew was glaring at him. I could just tell that WWE is slowly but surely turning Drew McIntyre heel as these weeks go on, and I love it. As far as this tag team match goes, it was pretty lit. It actually had me intrigued most of the time. It looked like the Viking Raiders were about to win, and then here comes Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston runs down, jumps in the ring, incidentally hits Riddle with a Trouble in Paradise, and then the Viking Raiders are able to pick up the victory with the Ragnarok with that double powerbomb through a table because it was a tornado tag match, so it's 100% legal. They slammed Riddle through a table. It was a pretty decent match. I mean, the Viking Raiders, they have momentum, but I'm still not a big fan of them. I feel like they're the same thing every week. As far as Drew, though, I could just tell they are going to have Drew turn heel either on Kofi or Riddle, and Drew is going to be an intense heel on Raw. Seth Rollins said, Shinsuke, you want a rematch? Let's go right now, because Seth wasn't happy because after Payback, it wasn't televised, otherwise I would have talked about it in my Payback review video that's on the channel. Shinsuke Nakamura attacked Seth Rollins. It wasn't televised. I'm like, why would they not televise that? That's pretty important. Shinsuke attacked him after the match, and then here we go. Seth Rollins is like, you know what? I'll give you a rematch. I'll give you what you want if you're going to get in this ring, because Shinsuke wouldn't come to the ring. So Seth's like, I'll give you a rematch, and Shinsuke Nakamura's like, no. He just kept saying no. Pretty hysterical. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty funny. And then Seth Rollins is like, nah, you know, I'm clocked in. We're on Raw. It's going down, son. So he just rushes Shinsuke Nakamura up in the walkway here. They brawl it out. Security comes out to break it up. Ricochet comes out to even up the odds between Shin and Seth, because he said, Seth, I got your back, man. You don't need to hold this show all by yourself. So that was pretty cool. And then this led to another match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Ricochet. And as far as this match goes, once again, not bad. They had really good chemistry in this match. I love the flow of it. In the end, Shinsuke Nakamura, it looked like Shinsuke was going to lose to Ricochet. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? This dude's contending for the world title, and he's not about to beat Ricochet. Like, what? So he grabs a steel chair, beats it over Ricochet, disqualification, and it looks like he's about to do more damage with maybe a Kinshasa kick to the head while Ricochet has a chair on his freaking head. Seth Rollins doesn't allow it to happen. He helps out Ricochet, but then Shinsuke targets the back, sends the back into the steel steps, and then Ricochet sort of scares Shinsuke Nakamura away with the steel chair, basically just helping out Seth Rollins. But yeah, Shinsuke's unhinged. He wants to destroy that back of Seth Rollins. And 100%, we are going to be seeing another match between Shinsuke and Seth Rollins, most likely likely at the next pay-per-view. Is that the Superstar Spectacle in India? I don't know. We'll have to see. The Judgment Day were in North Carolina, and they were celebrating their tag team title victory and just the superiority of the Judgment Day. They're dripping in gold. They got the North American Women's Championship, the Undisputed Tag Titles, and Damian Priest even has the Money in the Bank briefcase. They get interrupted by J.D. McDonough, who has been trying to interject himself into the Bloodline, of course, because he has history with Mr. Finn Balor, who I have under the briefcase. He's wearing a Monday Nitro shirt. J.D. McDonough comes out, and the only man that I feel like is skeptical about bringing J.D. McDonough onto the Judgment Day is Damian Priest. So what J.D. McDonough does is he hooks my boy up with a new Señor Dinero en el Banco briefcase. He hooks up Priest with a custom Money in the Bank briefcase, purple, white colors for the Judgment Day, and Priest starts warming up to J.D. McDonough, and then they get interrupted by Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn comes out and he's like, I'll face any member of the Judgment Day. I'm tired of this group. So then J.D. McDonough steps up. He steps up for Dominic Mysterio because Sami wanted to face Dom, but J.D. stepped up, and then it led to their match. Sami Zayn faced J.D. McDonough later in the night, and this match was actually kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie, J.D. McDonough was able to pick up the victory because of Dominic Mysterio, who didn't want to do the dirty work. He didn't want the match with Sami Zayn, but he came out anyway just to make sure Sami loses. He helps J.D. pick up the victory with a little roll-up, and then they sort of celebrate, just, forming a little relationship with J.D. McDonough, because I know they're going to add him to the Judgment Day. But as far as the match goes, it was just okay. Raquel Rodriguez looked to set Chelsea Green straight because Chelsea Green was talking some crap backstage with Adam Pearce about Raquel Rodriguez. So they set up a match one-on-one. It was a squash. Raquel Rodriguez absolutely slammed Chelsea Green in the center of the ring, pinned her 1, 2, 3, and then Raquel also announced that she's getting a rematch with Mommy Rhea Ripley, and Dominic, Dirty Dom, is barred from ringside. She announced this after the match over a microphone, and I was like, that's pretty freaking cool. So Dom's barred from ringside, so we'll really be able to see who the better woman is, either Raquel or Rhea Ripley. The Miz hosted the most must-see WWE talk show in history, Miz TV, with special guest star John Cena. See him? He's right here. My John Cena figure right there, and I got the Miz right there. I used a newer John Cena, if you guys can tell. So Miz, he had a Miz TV episode with John Cena. John Cena runs out, and then the Miz gets the best of Cena. He does a skull-crushing finale to him in the ring, and he lays him out. I'm just kidding. Cena wasn't actually there, but they took advantage of the meme, and they basically said, yeah, John Cena's there, but you just can't see him. And Miz hits a fake skull-crushing finale on him. Hats off to the Miz here. The way that he was able to entertain the crowd, the people at home at the same time, all alone. Keep in mind, this man was all alone in a ring, cutting a promo by himself, pretending that he was in a ring with John Cena just to make fun of Cena and LA Knight at the same time. I was like, bro, this was so good. Miz is super talented. This was an amazing promo. I absolutely loved it. It was cracking up. A match that I was not excited for at all, Shayna Baszler versus Zoe Stark. They met backstage, and they caught a little beef in the air, and a little interview backstage, and Shayna's like, meet me on the ring. We'll see who the real toughest woman is, Zoe or Shayna Baszler. This was a great match. Shayna Baszler in the end locks in the Karafuda clutch, that like sleeper hold that she does, and Zoe Stark had to have been in this submission hold for probably like 3 minutes, but she never tapped out. She never tapped out. She passed out over the course of probably being realistic, 2 minutes. It was crazy, and I'm like, dang, nobody's ever really survived that long in that submission. After the match, Shayna Baszler, of course, picked up the victory by pass out, and Shayna showed respect to Zoe Stark, and she's like, showed me a better fight than Ronda, and then Zoe said, you showed me a better fight than Trish. I was like, dude, that is so cool. This was actually really good. They really made something out of nothing here. I was not expecting much from this, and it was freaking great. Hats off to Shayna and Zoe here. Adam Pearce did approach Jey Uso backstage, letting him know that there will be a trade from Monday Night Raw going to SmackDown since Raw got Jey Uso. So who is that big trade going to be? Maybe Cody Rhodes, so then they could start building to Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. We'll have to see. And the main event of the show, they were hyping it up all night by showing former Intercontinental champions, showing the longest reigning Intercontinental champion at the time, Honky Tonk Man, Gunther versus Chad freaking Gable. This match was so freaking lit. We had Chad Gable's children on ringside. They were watching as this match unfolded. No Imperium on ringside. No Alpha Academy on ringside. I loved that. This crowd was so hyped for this. Gable locked in that freaking ankle lock. He was pulling off insane moves. So was Gunther. In the end, though, Gunther was just too much for Chad Gable. He picked him up, he slammed him down. He picked him up, he slammed him down. He clotheslined him. He absolutely squashed Chad Gable in the end. But Chad Gable did put up an insane fight here. I'm not counting Chad Gable out one bit. If you guys didn't see the match, frickin' watch it. Gunther retains the Intercontinental Championship, so then he becomes the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, which he freaking deserves, no doubt about it. He definitely deserves that title over the Honky Tonk Man, even though Honky Tonk Man is an absolute legend, no doubt about it. But Gunther freaking deserves that. Oh my goodness. But Chad Gable said, "You made my kids cry. It's not happening. I'm going to get that title one way or another," he said in a WWE.com exclusive video on YouTube. But oh my goodness, what a match. His kids started crying right away too when he lost, bro. I felt so bad for the kids. And then, oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so awesome, bro. This entire episode of Monday Night Raw was so good. Of course, there were some little things that I didn't really talk about that happened backstage, little interviews that they did, which was such a breath of fresh air, bro. I really thought this show was that good, where I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I can't even tell you the last time I gave a Monday Night Raw a 5 out of 5. Let me know what you guys thought of Raw down in the comments down below. And now we're going to jump into SmackDown. Continuing the week in review here with SmackDown from Boston, Massachusetts. And this was a great crowd, but I felt bad for this crowd at the same time because this was a mid-show. Coming off of such a good Monday Night Raw, I don't know how they fell off so bad. I think it's because the Superstar Spectacle is going on in India as this SmackDown was being filmed live in Boston, so they didn't have all the superstars that they normally would. But up the show with a tag team match, it was Charlotte and Shotzi going up against Damage Control's Bayley and Io Sky. This match was nothing crazy. Honestly, I wouldn't have opened with this match, but we opened with it anyways. We did have Dakota Kai on ringside. Dakota Kai was holding the women's championship for Io Sky, and then from behind out of nowhere, Asuka steals the title from Dakota Kai. Causes the distraction, distracts Io Sky and Bayley, allowing for Shotzi to deliver that spinning DDT that she does, and she took the dub with Charlotte. Not bad. After the match, Io Sky and Asuka did have a face-to-face confrontation with the title sitting between them, just showing that we're going to be seeing a championship match between these two, and it's going to be a heck of a match. I am excited for this one. Both Io Sky and Asuka are insanely talented, and I see this being a great match, and I'm excited for it. As far as the opening match, though, it was just okay. LA Knight wanted to talk to us in a little promo, and of course he got interrupted by Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I cannot lie, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory's promo was so boring. They were literally boring me to death. That was so boring, dude. LA Knight literally called him out on it too. He's like, if you're done boring these people, then we'll get down to business. Yeah, we'll have this match right now. Yeah. So we went up against Austin Theory one-on-one. The match wasn't bad. In the end, Grayson Waller did try to pose as a little distraction. Didn't really work too well because LA Knight, was still able to deliver the BFT, the Blood Force Trauma, to Austin Theory to pick up the victory. 1, 2, 3 all day, baby. LA Knight with another W and over the former United States champion. LA Knight's unbeatable right now. He is on a roll. He had a little run-in with Paul Heyman later in the show too, which was pretty cool. I don't know, maybe setting up for a Roman Reigns match. You never freaking know, dude. But yeah, this was really good, man. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised to see the Judgment Day here on SmackDown. It was Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. They all came out talking about all their gold that they have. No Rhea Ripley, because of course she was in India at the time of filming SmackDown for the Superstar Spectacle, bunch of live events they're doing down there. But they didn't get interrupted by the Brawling Brutes, and Butch tried to break the fingers of Finn Balor. It led to a tag team match between Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus the Brawling Brutes, Butch, Pete Dunne, and Ridge Holland. As far as the tag team match, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. They did have some close calls on the Judgment Day. Beating the Judgment Day definitely would have put the Brawling Brutes on the map for possibly fighting them in the future for the tag titles, but they were not able to pick up the victory. Dominic on ringside posed as a little factor, distracting Ridge and Butch, and then in the end, Finn Balor was able to hit the coup de grace and pick up the victory over the Brawling Brutes. After the match, they did get interrupted by the New Hurt Business. They haven't fully confirmed what their name is actually going to be. I really want an official name for this group. It's Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I need like an official group name here. Like it needs to be the Hurt Business or the Hurt Business 2 or something along the lines of it. But anyways, they come out, they do a little face-to-face confrontation with the Judgment Day, basically setting up a future maybe tag team title match. I don't know. Or a 6-man match. We'll have to see. AJ Styles looked to get a little revenge over Jimmy Uso for the attack backstage last week. The match wasn't bad. Honestly, I got kind of bored throughout it. Paul Heyman did lie earlier in the night saying that Solo Sikoa wasn't there, but then he comes out with Solo Sikoa mid-match to watch the match, and you could tell that Jimmy Uso was trying to gesture towards Solo Sikoa and tell Solo, like, yeah, get involved, let's cheat, let's win this match, help me out, cheat. And Solo turned his back, but then it cost Solo. AJ Styles was a little insecure to Solo, and then he takes out Jimmy Uso, pins Jimmy Uso 1, 2, 3. Shocked the crap out of me to see AJ Styles win. I was like, what? But then after the match, AJ Styles gets away from Solo Sikoa before he could cause any more damage. And then the Judgment Day? What? The Judgment Day run out, send AJ Styles back into the ring for Solo Sikoa to hit the Samoan Spike. I'm like, why is the Judgment Day helping the Bloodline? That's so weird. And I still can't get behind Jimmy Uso wanting to join the Bloodline again. That just makes no sense to me. As far as Jay's route on Raw, I love where Jay's going. But where Jimmy's at, it just doesn't make any sense why he would want to join the Bloodline again. That literally makes no sense for the character. It's like, no, he wouldn't want to join the Bloodline again. It makes no sense. It truly doesn't. It's like, bro, what? But yeah, I was just happy to see AJ Styles win, but he ultimately took the L because he got beat up in the end. Overall, I thought this episode of SmackDown was really freaking mid, and I felt bad for the crowd because this crowd was really freaking good. They were booing Dominic Mysterio before their promo too, and it was freaking awesome. But for SmackDown this week, I'm going to have to give it a 1 out of 5. I thought it was so boring, bro. I cannot believe I gave Raw a 5 out of 5 and SmackDown a 1 out of 5 this week. That's going to be the biggest gap in a Raw and SmackDown ranking that I've ever done here in the Week in Review. That's a record, guys. That's crazy. A 1 out of 5 and a 5 out of 5 in the same video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Week in Review setup. Once again, let me know your rankings down in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bretto Live is out.